Hello everyone, welcome to today's Snatch double training session. Today I want to show you how I work on my setup in the Snatch to make sure that when I get to competition, my lifts are successful. Here I have briefly a quick comparing my training lifts to my comp lift here, and we'll get started with how the training session usually goes for me. I usually do an extensive warm-up that's tailored specifically to my needs, that has nothing to do with the barbell. And when that's completed, I grab the bar and start warming up with the bar like every athlete should. So one of the things I want you to focus here as you're watching this is my foot positioning, the way I approach the bar, how I tighten my back up, and what my intentions are with the barbell as soon as the bar moves from the floor. So I'm just finishing up my barbell warm-ups, and I make sure that the barbell moves the same exact way I want my heavy lifts to move. Now, as you can see with these first few sets that I'm doing, I really do take my time to set up against the bar, no matter what the weight is. So some of the key points again is the way I position my feet and what my intention is from the floor. You know, if you blurred the weight on the bar, ideally you shouldn't be able to tell a difference if it's 60 kilos or 120 kilos in a lift. So the reason why my foot positioning is so important for me, and why I take an extra second to set myself up identical with every lift, is that the base of the lift sets up the rest of the bar path. And usually if my feet are too narrow, I end up being way forward. And if my feet are too wide, I end up not being able to put enough power into the bar. So I make sure my foot positioning is ideal every single time. And the next thing that I focus on is my hand position on the bar. So yet again, if my hands are too narrow, what happens is I am not able to lock out. And if my hands are too wide, I usually get wrist or shoulder injuries. And that's because of mobility issues that I have. So those are the things that I focus on every single time when I approach the bar, no matter what weight is on the bar. So the next thing I want you to be aware of is how I tighten up my back. Anyone who's a heavy snatcher will tell you that snatch is a posterior chain dominant lift. That means your hamstring, glutes, and your back need to be strong to successfully lift more weight in the snatch. And that is why I make sure that my back angle and my torso are completely locked out and stable before I even attempt moving the bar. Now, the reason why I have this 100 kilogram lift showing extensively is because at this weight, the weight of my body and the weight of the barbell are the same. So there are two center of gravities at play when you're lifting. One is your own body center of gravity, and the second one is the center of gravity of the barbell. And they will combine to create the center of gravity of the lift. This is again why the starting position is so important, because that is the last time you're able to manage the center of gravity of your own body, and that's the last time where you can roll the barbell back and forth to manage the center of gravity of it to create a solid combination. Now here, jumping up by 5 kilos because it's getting a little heavier, and I just want to make sure that I make these lifts. And here's that final set of 120. Again, same story. I set up my feet intentionally I make sure that my hands are locked up against the bar in the right position. And you'll see it here. I'll tighten up my back, especially my upper back. And then I rock back and forth to find that ideal center of gravity that will set up the rest of the lift perfectly, or as best as possible. Here's that second rep. And you can see that right elbow was soft, and that's because I stepped my right foot forward in the catch. Now here's a direct comparison showing my training lift, a heavy training lift to a heavy comp lift. So you can see that the approach is almost identical and my intentions are the exact same. And that is what helps me to be successful in competition, because I'm not doing anything different no matter what the weight on the bar is. My intentions are consistent, and that takes away a lot of pressure from you when you're lifting in competitions, because you've built that trust in your lift over the last few training cycles. So it just relieves you, because you know you have the exact same thing to do that you do in warm-up. Anyways, I hope you liked the video. Until next time.